VAT Taxes. Acumatica provides flexible logic to help you manage all types of taxation, including sales taxes, use taxes, value-added taxes, and withholding taxes. Each tax is paid to a specific tax agency, which is set up as a vendor in accounts payable. Complexities such as tax-on-tax calculations, included taxes, and discounts can be specified. Each tax consists of three key elements: a tax schedule, which describes the amount of the tax, tax categories, which describe the products which the tax applies to, and tax zones, which describe customer and vendor locations where the tax is applied. Value-added taxes are applied to sales and purchases. The amount of tax owed is the net of tax due from sales and tax paid on purchases. Acumatica calculates the tax and provides reports that meet the reporting requirements of various taxing authorities. In this video, I demonstrate three types of Canadian VAT taxes. These taxes are applied to customers and suppliers in three provinces. The same principles shown with regard to Canadian taxes can be applied to VAT tax in Europe. To begin, I create tax zones. These zones are linked to customer and vendor locations, so the system knows when to automatically apply taxes. Next, I create tax categories. These categories are linked to inventory items. In this case, I have two categories: taxable and exempt. The taxable category is set up to automatically include all taxes. The next step is to set up my taxing authorities in accounts payable. A vendor becomes a tax agency by selecting the Vendor is a Tax Agency box. The system adds a new tab for the tax agency settings and includes the vendor on several tax reporting screens. Returning to the tax module, I set up my reporting requirements. For each tax agency, I create buckets that accumulate my tax transactions. Buckets can accumulate tax and taxable amounts. The update rule defines the sign for reporting and calculations. Please note that this may not reflect the actual reporting requirements for this particular tax agency. For VAT, I define input and output groups to track sales and purchases. The calculation rule column is automatically populated based on the lines I include in my reporting group. Line 3 is included in both the input and output groups, so the system adds them together. Finally, I add the taxes, including effective dates, the tax rate, and the tax zones. Note that this tax gets applied in multiple tax zones. At the end of each financial period, I can prepare and review a tax report for each tax agency. If necessary, I can make adjustments before I submit the report. Following the initial setup of tax agencies, vendors, customers, and products, taxes are automatically calculated to ensure accuracy and streamline tax reporting. To demonstrate, I create an invoice. In this example, I select a customer in Vancouver, British Columbia. As I drill into the customer record, note the tax zone associated with this location. As I enter items that are taxable, the system automatically calculates the GST and PST taxes and adds them to my document totals. When I release my invoice, the tax amounts are added to the reporting lines or buckets for each tax agency. The amounts are also included in my general ledger accounts. Vendor bills are calculated in the same way, except using the input group for reporting and tax calculation. In this example, taxes were not applied to the last line because the tax category was set to exempt. This invoice is linked to a purchase order. The tax is calculated on the purchase order, but not added to tax reports until the shipments are received and the invoice is released. Tax bucket amounts are maintained internally until you prepare a tax report and then release it to the tax agency. After the report is prepared, you can enter tax adjustments to change your tax amount. The tax adjustments will not impact customer or vendor balances. When satisfied with my tax report, I close the tax period. This action creates the report for the tax agency and creates a vendor bill for the net tax amount. The resulting vendor bill is displayed and can be released during the tax filing process. Acumatica manages several other VAT tax reporting and calculation scenarios. Additional details regarding these features are included in the system help files. For more information about Acumatica, visit our website to read documentation and view other videos.